So welcome back to The Art of Creative Living, a podcast for heart-centered creatives and entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Nicola Newman, and today we'll be discussing a common challenge that many creatives face, creative blocks. Whether you're an artist, a writer, or an entrepreneur, it's natural to encounter obstacles in your creative journey. In this episode, we'll explore gentle techniques for moving through these barriers and reigniting your creative spark. So drawing from my personal experiences and using a nurturing and mindful approach will help you to reconnect with your creativity. So creative blocks can take many forms, including lack of inspiration, feeling self-doubt, facing perfectionism, or even burnout. And it's really helpful to recognize that creative blocks are a normal part of the creative process, and facing them doesn't make you any less of a creative. The key is to approach these obstacles with gentleness, self-care, and mindfulness. So I've put together a list of ways to overcome creative blocks, and I am so delighted to get to share them with you here today. The first strategy or tip that I wanted to share about overcoming creative blocks is to practice mindfulness. So when we're faced with a creative block, I invite you to take a moment to pause and observe your thoughts and emotions, ideally without judgment. This can help you to really identify the root cause of your block and just create enough space for clarity and inspiration to start to flow. One of my favorite tools for navigating creative blocks using mindfulness is the inquisitive pause. So the inquisitive pause is a simple yet powerful practice that encourages self-awareness and reflection. And to implement this technique, I'm going to give you a brief overview that you can follow these steps. Firstly, recognize the block. When you feel stuck or overwhelmed, acknowledge the creative block without judgment or self-criticism. This awareness is super, super important, and it really is the first step of transformation. Secondly, I've got a block in my throat. Secondly, pause. Take a deep breath and give yourself permission to pause your creative work momentarily. This intentional break helps to create space between you and the creative block. Next, inquire. Gently ask yourself questions about the block. For example, what thoughts or emotions are contributing to this block? Are there any external factors influencing your creativity? Are you putting too much pressure on yourself to create something perfect? Next, pay attention to the sensations in your body as you reflect and check in with yourself. What sensations can you feel, perhaps in your legs, your arms, your chest, or your belly? We can glean information from the sensations in our body, and it can help us to anchor really deeply into a self-awareness. Next, reflect. As you ask these questions, listen to your inner voice without judgment. Be open to any insights or emotions that may arise. In my personal experience, this process has led to a deeper understanding of the underlying issues behind my creative blocks, often revealing solutions and new creative pathways. And finally, respond. Based on your reflection, decide on a course of action to address the block. This might involve taking a break, engaging in self-care, adjusting your expectations, or perhaps changing your environment. Remember, the goal is to approach your block with compassion, curiosity, and openness. By incorporating the inquisitive pause into your mindfulness practice, you can develop greater self-awareness and resilience in the face of creative blocks. And this approach has helped me and my clients to navigate obstacles in our creative journeys by fostering a deeper understanding of our thoughts and emotions and allowing us to shift our focus and move past creative barriers with greater ease and grace. The next strategy I wanted to share is to engage in self-care. Oh gosh, we often are highly sensitive individuals as creative hearts, and along with being highly sensitive comes a sensitive nervous system that can make it so that we feel things really deeply, whether that is physical sensations, such as the roughness of different fabrics, to feeling the sting of judgment from others at a really deep level. So engaging in self-care is super, super important to our well-being as creatives. Taking care of your physical, emotional, and mental well-being is crucial when facing a creative block. Ensure that you're getting enough sleep, eating well, and staying hydrated. Engage in activities that bring you joy and relaxation, that are tailored to your personal preferences and lifestyle. In my own life, I've found that certain self-care strategies have been especially effective in nurturing my well-being and helping me to move through creative blocks. So some of my favourites include having a warm bath. We have a beautiful clawfoot bath in our bathroom, which is honestly one of my most cherished parts of the house. Immersing myself in a soothing bath allows me to relax both physically and mentally. The warmth and the comfort of the water help to ease tension and provide a calming environment in which to reflect on my creative challenges. Another favourite practice is simply hugging my husband. Connecting with loved ones can be a powerful source of comfort and support during difficult times. A simple hug from my husband reminds me that I'm not alone in my creative journey, and it provides the emotional support that I need to overcome creative obstacles. So I invite you to consider how you can connect with loved ones, people that you trust in your own creative journey. Thirdly, I find going for a walk around my local area, while it might sound like just the most simple thing and it's obvious because people say it all the time, go for a walk, but truly, I just never feel worse after a walk. I always feel better. It helps to calm my nervous system, and I find that stepping away from my creative workspace and immersing myself in nature allows me to clear my mind and find fresh inspiration. During these walks, I often gain new perspectives on my creative challenges and find unexpected solutions or new inspiration. A fourth favourite practice is cuddling and playing with my little dog, Lacey Jane. So spending time with her offers a really special and soft. She has really soft fur. In a way, it's a form of therapy and really lovely companionship. So Lacey's unconditional love and presence help me to feel grounded, and the simple act of patting her can be incredibly soothing and stress relieving. And fifth, one of my all-time favourite practices, particularly for moving through creative blocks like self-doubt or feeling overwhelmed, is journaling. So I've long been a huge fan of journaling, and lately I've been using a new technique that I learned called inner dialoguing. It was developed by Louisa Capricone. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. She is a creative coach, and the process involves using your non-dominant hand and your dominant hand to write and answer questions between your inner adult and inner child. I found it to be a truly supportive tool and really helpful for navigating creative blocks or really facing any challenges in life, really. So by incorporating these personalized self-care strategies into my routine, I've been able to navigate creative blocks more effectively. Of course, remember that self-care is a deeply personal practice, and it's essential to discover the activities and the rituals or the routines that resonate with you and support your unique creative journey. So that's the first overarching, the second actually. The first was about mindfulness. Second was engage in self-care. Thirdly, I wanted to talk about the value of breaking the task into smaller steps. Sometimes a creative block can be the result of feeling overwhelmed by the size or the complexity of a project. I encourage you to break the task into smaller, manageable steps and tackle them one at a time. I found this technique particularly helpful when I'm facing large projects or I'm doing something that I've never done before. One effective way to manage your creative projects is by utilising digital tools to organise your ideas, tasks and schedules. And two of my favourite tools for this purpose are Trello and Google Calendar. So Trello is a project management tool that allows you to create boards for different projects and to add lists and cards to organise your tasks and ideas. By breaking your creative project down into smaller steps and organising them visually in Trello, which is what I love, being such a visual person, you can really gain a clearer perspective on your project's scope and progress. Trello is an invaluable resource for me as it helps me to capture ideas, set priorities, and track my progress, making my creative projects feel more manageable and achievable. Second tool that I rely on heavily in my creative work is, funnily enough, Google Calendar. So time management is often crucial when working on creative projects, especially if you're juggling multiple tasks or deadlines. And I find that Google Calendar is an excellent tool for scheduling your time, setting reminders, and allocating specific time slots for your creative work. By integrating your Trello tasks with Google Calendar, you can ensure that you stay on track and make steady progress on your project, even when you're feeling overwhelmed. Finding the right tools to support your creative dreams is paramount to making them come true, in my experience. And for me, using Trello and Google Calendar in tandem, I've found that you can create a structured and organised approach to your creative projects, reducing overwhelm and breaking through creative blocks more effectively. These tools can also help you to maintain a really healthy balance between your work and personal and creative life, ensuring that you have the time and energy to dedicate to your creative pursuits. Now, of course, finding the right tools to support you in your creative journey is a personal endeavour, because everyone has a unique personality. We may be neurodiverse or neurotypical, and we have preferences that shape the way that we approach our creative work. As a creative mentor and business coach, I really cherish the opportunity to work with my clients to help them discover the tools and strategies that best suit their individual needs and strengths. And by acknowledging and embracing our unique qualities, we can develop a tailored approach to our creative projects that not only nurtures our well-being, but also fosters a more authentic and fulfilling creative experience. The next tip for overcoming creative blocks is to change your environment. A change of scenery can help shift your perspective and provide fresh inspiration. Take your creative work to a new location, perhaps such as a park. I love to go and work in the park. Coffee shop, sometimes, but not so much. Or a different room, even in your house. In my own experience, when we were sailing the east coast of Australia, I had countless opportunities to change my environment and find inspiration in new places. But even now, when I'm not sailing, I love to indulge my wanderlust and seek out new environments to spark creativity. Sometimes that means hopping in my van and heading out for an overnight camping trip where I can immerse myself in nature and let the beauty of my surroundings really fuel my imagination. And it also helps to settle my nervous system. On other occasions, I don't need to venture far at all to find a fresh perspective. I've been known to drive just 3 blocks away from my home, park under some tall pine trees, and set up my computer on my lap, overlooking the picturesque farmlands behind my house. These simple yet powerful changes in scenery have a profound impact on my creative process, enabling me to break free from routine, which is really important for me, and access new ideas and insights. By seeking out diverse and inspiring environments, both near and far, I've been able to maintain a sense of wonder and curiosity that's been really instrumental in my creative journey.